Hi everybody, and welcome to this second video of my Disney Princess makeup tutorials for the National Disney Princess Week. I was pretty much, as you can tell, all done showing you my Cinderella look when my camera just said no. So what I was actually planning on doing is I showed you how to do the rag version, and then I was going to add to it to give the bibbidi boppity boo look. So what I'm going to do is, instead of wipe everything off and go through step by step, because it was already getting like 14 minutes long, I'm going to talk you through what I did with this look and why I did it, and then I'm going to do live the additions that you can use for a bibbidi boppity boo look. So what I did is I did the normal. I moisturized my face. I primed it with the Professional. This time though, I actually used, where is it? I just bought this. This is Max Pro Longwear. I like it so far. My skin is really temperamental. It hates pretty much any kind of makeup I will break out. But so far so good with this. So I used this, and I actually am NC15. But when I bronze my face up a little bit with the contouring, it helps with the extreme paleness. Then what I did is I started off by using Bobbi Brown's Dessert Pink Blush. And what I did is I used this brush and I did it on the apples of my cheeks, very much like my Snow White tutorial. And then I used 10 by Benefit. I use this pretty much every day for my contour and highlights. Cinderella has a very oval face, and I have more of a heart face because I have the pointier chin. So I did that about to here like I do with Snow White, and I did the highlight here. And then I went back over with the blush just to kind of blend out the look. Then what I did is we went to my eyes. Cinderella is actually a pretty simple makeup, just like Snow White. There's not much to her because she is very much a 50s, late 40s, early 50s girl, and there really wasn't much on the eyes. Plus, you know, they have her busy, busy, busy all the time, so she doesn't really have a lot of time to do makeup. So I used Benefit's Tattletale once again, and I did that all over my lid and in the corner. And then I used an Avon Quad. I love Avon. Avon was my first makeup I ever had. My mom has had an Avon lady since the 70s, I do believe, and she's the sweetest woman ever. So I love their eyeshadows. I always have. So I'm using a quad, and it's called Mocha Latte. And what I did is I started off with a fluffy brush, and I did this color right here, which is like a sandy color, and I did that all over my eyes, all the way. And then what I did is I used this color right here, and I used a flat brush with that. And what I did is I started at the middle here, and I brought it all the way to here and a little bit up. So middle to the end. Nothing over here. And then I took my fluffy brush, and with this matte brown, I continued to blend just here, a little bit over, just to give a shadowed depth to my eyes, to make my eyes look bigger. She actually had quite big almond eyes. I think she's probably one of the prettiest princesses. I'm sure most people will disagree, but I think she's one of the sweetest and most beautiful princesses. So after that, what I did is I took the fluffy brush without putting anything on it, and I really blended it. Then I used my favorite Bare Minerals Nude Beach Loose Powder, and what I did, and you can kind of tell, let me get really close, is I patted it right here, just in the middle, and I brought it all the way up. Woo. And then what I did is I used an eyeliner brush, and I took the same matte brown and I brought it, just like I did with my Snow White, from here to the middle to open up the eyes, because I am using falsies and I feel like you do need a little bit of shadow underneath to bring your eyes up. And again, I used my white Urban Decay 24/7 liner, and I did it here, and I brought it all the way to the middle. I basically met the middle part. So the reason why I chose browns for her rags look is because Cinderella has blue eyes. I have like green blue eyes, and browns tend to bring blue eyes just out so beautifully. So if you're lucky enough to have blue eyes, or if you want to purchase blue contacts, this is the reason why I chose brown for the top of her eyes. It does give a nude look, but it also brings out the color of blue. So then I took my liquid eyeliner, my La Rose de Versailles, and I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that beyond all reasoning. And what I did is I basically did the same thing as I do with Snow White, and I did a thin line from lid to lid just to help open up the eye and to bring out the lashes. So my lashes that I chose are Wispies. You can get them at any drugstore. I think they're from Duo as well. And they basically are a very natural, full lash. No wings at the end, no special anything. They're basically just an intertwined lash. And that just gives it more of a natural look. She was very natural on the eyes. So I curled my lashes, I did my mascara, which the mascara I use is, I use two different ones, but when I'm wearing lashes, I use the Colossal Volume by Maybelline, and then when I'm not wearing lashes, I'll do Colossal, and then I'll do the falsies on the end to wing out my eyes. So I put the falsies on, and then I did mascara on the bottom. I took Highbrow from Benefit, and I did it right here. I drew it on and then blended it in. It just lifts up the eye. Actually, I'll do a little more on this side for you. Ooh, my nails are chipped. See how that just brings up the eye? It's one of the best products ever. And then I filled in my brow. Now, I used e.l.f.'s brow kit, but any brow kit I recommend that has a powder and a wax. It's the best kind because it keeps all your brows, your brow hair together. And I made a very full brow. I just basically I just colored in my own brows. I have very full brows. The fuller the brow, the younger you look. And I find with these kind of looks, especially with ones with bangs, a full brow, it gives more of a pop. So that was about it with the eyes for the maid version of, I almost said Snow White, of Cinderella. Now the thing with the lipstick, and I had this funny thing about it, I screen capped so much of Cinderella and this morning, and she has like 5 different lips colors. She goes from this kind of peachy nude color to bright pink to bright fuchsia to completely brown. So what I decided to do for her rags version is I decided to do 2 different color peaches. This one is a Revlon peach. It's called Smoked Peach. It's a matte color. And this is what I put on first. And then I used an Ulta brand, and this is 209. This has more of a rosier frost to it. I almost recommend just doing this one because for some reason this is picking up really, really peachy. And so that's about it for the rags. So now I'm going to bippity boppity boo myself up. And when it comes to, I should probably take my rags off, right? I'm not a maid anymore. This is my Cinderella wig. I don't have one for the midnight dress. This is for my rags version. The strawberry blonde. Okay, so what happened? We had our stepsisters freak out and rip everything off of us, and we're absolutely devastated because the one thing we wanted to do was to go to that ball. And once more, our stepmother basically lied and screwed us over. So we're pretty upset. But because we're good and we're good-hearted and a good person, our wishes were answered, and our fairy godmother came and made our night a dream come true. So what I'm going to do is, there's a lot of controversy about the color of Cinderella's dress. When she goes and visits the parks, her dress is quite blue. It's a very periwinkle steel blue. I'm a firm believer that her dress is white and like a light silver color, and the reason why it turns blue is when it reflects the moonlight, because it's full of magic and stars. So what I'm going to decide to do to make my eyes look a little bit more to match my dress, I'm using the Lips and Eyes palette number 2 from Target, and I'm going to use 2 different colors. I'm going to use this color here, and I'm going to use this color here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same makeup that I have right now, and I'm going to take a flat brush, make sure it's not on the brown, and I'm going to use this color. I'm basically going to mimic what I did with the browns, but with the blues on top of it. So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to blend that up. And then the other side. That one went a little too high. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm going to put it in this dark one here. Very carefully just put it in the crease, only the crease. Do a little more. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm going to blend it out. We only want a hint of darkness. We don't want our eyes to be too dark. And maybe, let's try experiment. Let's put the darker color on the bottom to kind of darken up . Let's try putting this in the brow bone using yeah, that looks pretty. Oop, as I totally touched the wrong spot. This is why I need to do it in a mirror and not on the screen. Alright, and a little bit of fairy godmother fairy dust. We're using the Nude Beach once again. And only on the lid, and bring it up. The middle of the lid. Middle of the lid, and bring it all the way up. I'm using a tapping motion. And again, I think this would really bring out blue in anyone's eyes. And for the lipstick, I'm just going to darken it just a tad bit with Lorac Feeling. It's a darker, this is actually what I'm going to be using for Aurora, I believe. You can use a darker pink for her lips for this, for her midnight escapade. But that will about do it. So sorry again for not being able to go over live with you the made rags version. But I hope you like this look for Cinderella and rags and for the ball. And I will see you again soon with a look for Princess Aurora. Again, happy National Princess Week, everybody. Bye.